This is Julie Maddox.
So I sort of just shoved my laptop across my desk and sat back in my chair. That's not what he was supposed to say. You see, I've been lurking on this online forum called The Art of Manliness for like months. Back in those days, there weren't very many of us. And yes, I did feel quite strange being the token girl on a manliness forum. But you see, my marriage was falling apart. My marriage was falling apart, and I didn't know what else to do. I didn't post much, and often when I did, it was usually very reaching. My husband hates his job. Says he hates New York City. I told him we can leave, but he says it wouldn't matter. My husband says he no longer wants a family. Why would he say that? What's changed? Then one day, I read a post by another regular on the forum, James, where he talked about how he had broken up with his former wife. And I tell you, I was completely blown away. It was as though the words I was reading on my computer screen were coming straight from my own heart. Immediately, I sent James a private message, telling him a little bit more about my actual situation, and was asking, no, I was begging for advice. If I were you, I would make preparations. I'm sorry. At that point, I just slammed my laptop closed and threw it in my bag. He's got to be wrong, right? He's got to be wrong. Unbelievably, though, just 2 days later, I made a rather unfortunate discovery that would in fact require that I do in my marriage. 12 years together, 5 years of marriage, nearly 2 years of counseling, and here I am about to have a conversation with the only man I've ever loved. It's going to make me single for the first time in my adult life. Man, I was scared. But thanks to James, I was prepared. The next few months were rather difficult, obviously, but James and I would continue to write. He would never let more than a few days go by without sending me a note. Updates, checking in, how you holding up? I would tell him how I was feeling, and he would, tell me more about what he went through. I remember one thing that he said was that to just go to the gym. You've got all of these emotions running through you. You've got to get them out. Go to the gym. So that's what I did. I went to the gym every day. I was running every day. Before I knew it, I signed up for the Manhattan Half Marathon, then a 5K, then a 10K, then another half. After never running a day in my life, I'd somehow become some sort of distance runner. It was crazy. Anyway, so James and I would continue to talk, and our friendship grew, and we would talk about other things, life, love, big dreams. I told him how I'd always wanted to go to Japan someday, but I never thought that would actually ever happen. But, we've all had our dreams, right? And he wrote me back, funny you should mention Japan specifically. I, too, have always wanted to go to Japan. And in fact, I'm going there with my girlfriend, and I think I'm going to propose. And just like that, this vision of this faraway place, in my mind at least, became yet another way in which I felt connected to this extraordinary stranger. Time went by, of course, and we both got busy, and the frequency of our messages slowly faded away, but I was still running. And then one night out with my friends in the city, one of them turns to me and says, "Hey, Julie, you're a runner. I'm thinking of running the Tokyo Marathon. Care to come along?" I didn't even hesitate. Of course, I have to run this race. I have to run the Tokyo Marathon. I have to run this race for James. Months of training go by, rigorous, annoying training go by, and the next thing I know, I'm at the starting line in Tokyo, Japan, about to run in my very first marathon. Man, I was scared, but thanks to James, I was prepared. We get started, and I'm going really strong. We're going past some of the most amazing sights in central Tokyo. The Imperial Palace, the Tokyo Tower, the warm and welcoming people of Japan cheering us on every step of the way. It was amazing, amazing. Towards the end of the race, though, it's starting to get really hard. My legs are on fire. I tell you, I am unreasonably worried about my iPhone's battery life. But I'm still running. I started to think about everything that had gotten me to that point. The months of training, the trip, the Japanese scenery. But then I went deeper. I thought about the year I'd had, and I thought about James. I thought about how this moment would not be happening had it not been for James and what he had done for me. Then suddenly, as the 5K left to go marker comes up, it hits me. I'm gonna get through this. It's been hard and I am tired, but I am still running. I cannot tell you what a freeing feeling it was at that moment. And from that point on, I could just enjoy my run. 0 to 26.2 in 15 months and 1 week, and I'm gonna get through this. I might still be a little scared, but thanks to James, I'm prepared. Thank you.
One time for Julie.